Do you get a sense, Dr. Tharoor, that not the intensity, but the acrimony between the two teams has come down since the times of, say, Javed Miandad and that famous incident with Kiran More and all that happened in the past? The game is now played in a greater sense of sportsmanship than it was for several years in the middle.
I think you're right. Certainly, from what I know of the players today, there is really no acrimony between the players of the teams. Of course, they haven't played each other in each other's countries for a few years, and therefore there's a certain distance. But when 10 Pakistanis came and played in the first edition of the IPL, they were received very warmly by the Indian players, and as far as I know, relations have been outstanding. So I think Shahryar Sahib put his finger on something very important. Whatever the result, damage could be done if either the crowd or the players behave badly as a result of the match. If we can take the result in good spirit, even if it is an unfavorable one, if incidents during the match do not provoke disturbances, if, in other words, we conduct cricket as the gentleman's game it is supposed to be in the old cliche, then I think we're in great shape. But if we actually have a problem, if we have some unpleasantness, as we've seen in other matches in the subcontinent, if the stadium erupts in some way, if there is ungracious jeering if Pakistan is badly defeated, or ungracious noises if Pakistan wins, I think those things could do us and do our country's people-to-people relations a great deal of damage. So I hope that both players and public will behave themselves, and I certainly expect they will.
Well, that's the last thing anybody would expect would happen, and let's just hope that match is played in good spirit by the teams and also by the people who are watching. Before I end this show, I'd like both Dr. Tharoor and Mr. Khan to recount for our audiences their fondest memory of Indo-Pak rivalries. Mr. Khan, we'll start with you. You've written such a fascinating book. Tell our viewers about your fondest memory as the insider, as someone who's seen PCB, who's been a part of the team so closely, your fondest memory of an Indo-Pak match.
Well, shall I start on this one?
Yes.
My fondest memory is when the Indian team came to Pakistan in 2004 after a lapse of about 15 years. It had followed the Kargil unfortunate episode. There was a lot of acrimony between the two governments. And I remember, as chairman of the board, when Dalmia rang me up and said that the players are not being allowed to go to Pakistan because of the expected hostile attitude of the crowds, and it's going to be very difficult, and so we think we should postpone this. I said no. Come now, I can assure you that the crowds in Pakistan will treat them very warmly. So the moment they arrived in great apprehension and feeling that there might be hostile crowds and people throwing stones and things at them, in fact, when they came here, they found an atmosphere that was exactly the reverse. I'll just give you one instance. In Karachi, where the first match took place, there was no hostility. There was a full house. This was a wonderful match that India won by 6 runs in the end, and no one in the crowd said anything acrimonious. They all went back happy. And when Dravid had reached 99, this is unbelievable. When he had reached 99 in that match, the Pakistan crowd was egging him on by clapping him onto his 100. In fact, I think he was so surprised that he was bowled on 99. But, I mean, those were the memories that I remember right through that tour. And I remember when we went to India also, a very similar reaction took place from the Indian crowds. So what I'm saying is that the people involved want good sportsmanship. They want good cricket. They want a good match of cricket. And the days of acrimony and tension, I think we have put behind us. But there's a great responsibility on the players and on the captain and, of course, on the crowds.
Dr. Tharoor, your fondest memory?
Well, I think without question that moment in early 1999, a few months before Kargil as it happened, when Pakistan won a test match in Chennai that they had nearly lost because of a wonderful Tendulkar century, but they were able to take the last 3 wickets for a handful of runs and they won that match. And the entire stadium in Chennai stood up and applauded the Pakistani team for their amazing victory and applauded them as they ran a lap of honor around the stadium. That, I think, is a symbol of how good things can be between our two countries on a cricket field, between the crowds, the audiences that we can produce and the players who perform for us. And I hope that something of that nature will always characterize our relations. I would love to see a new fondest memory coming into being after Wednesday's match.
Well, let's just hope India and Pakistan both bat for peace and cricket comes out triumphant. And I end from where I began, as Dr. Tharoor wrote in his article. The cold peace that prevails between India and Pakistan could tip over into a hot war or turn into a warmer friendship. Let's hope it is the warmer friendship that develops between these two nations. Dr. Shashi Tharoor for joining us from Trivandrum, and Mr. Shahryar Khan for joining us from Lahore this evening. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure having the two of you with us on the show. This was the Headlines Today special presentation. Mr. Shahryar Khan and Dr. Shashi Tharoor.
Thank you.
Live on Headlines Today.